Hello everyone and welcome to Outlaws of Thunder Junction. There's the rare, there's only one rare in this pack, Rush of Dread. So it's minimum of 4 mana to make them sacrifice, well, a number of creatures. Then of course the other options could be useful too. I just don't like the base cost of what it does. I don't just think it's the best black card even in the pack. I think the Blood Hustler is the best black card. I like the Vault Plunderer too. Contractor is fine. This is a weak pack. Demonic Ruckus is like okay, but I think I like the potential of the Blood Hustler the most. It's not that hard to get the free counters for this, and once you have like 2 extra counters, it's already gonna be quite nice. And of course, you have the 4 mana option to just add those counters yourself. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna stick to black here. The Obeka is kind of not really a limited card. 4 mana, 2/5 menace isn't great stat line, even if the mana cost was easier, but this is 3 different colors. The extra upkeeps just are not gonna matter. So I take the Consuming Ashes to, stick to my first pick color. Skewer the critics. I don't even think that it's necessarily better than the Ashes, because this gets rid of all the big things that can be really problematic in this set, and bomb rare creatures and all that. So let's take these, and hopefully I can stick to black here. Unsurprisingly, it seems like a red is open. It often is. I just had a black-red draft, not the previous one, but the one before that was a black-red, but I mean, what can I take here? I'm not going to force like black and white. I guess if I wanted to do that, I could take up the shield, which is not really an embarrassing card, but I do like the Gila Coulter and the Coyote quite a bit. Now this can just net you extra cards, so maybe I'm gonna take that. But this is one of the better 2-drops in the format. I mean, you can plot or play it on turn 2, and later in the game it's still gonna matter. You could take the surprise, but I think I'm gonna take the hint that red is gonna be open, and I'm taking the Gila Coulter. Okay, this is a good pack. Now I could just take the at knife point. At knife point, it's actually nice synergy also with the Blood Hustler, because I can just keep committing crimes. It's not a bad idea to take like a Bandit's Hole and maybe look for some kind of a potentially Grixis deck. There is the Outlaw Stitcher too, which can be quite nice. At base, it's a 4 mana 1/4 plus a 2/2, and then you can do some other kind of shenanigans with it to make a bigger token than a 2/2. Mystical Tether is good removal spell, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, that's a good amount of options. I guess that all those 4 cards are really worth considering, but I'll take the at knife point. Okay, Escape Shift. I think I have a playset of these particular special quest cards, so I'm not taking it just to have 40 gems. And yes, as you can see, black and red are quite open here. I'm taking the Terminal Agony. If I can get some discard outlets, it's gonna be quite nice, and at worst it's a 4 mana destroy a creature. A roundup is fine. The Raven of Fell Omens is actually quite nice too, but I think I'll take the actual crime committing card instead of one of the payoffs. And Explosive Derailment. There is a 4-second minor, but I have actually been quite unimpressed by this card. It's so easy to have blockers for a 2/2 guy that I don't think it's really high priority at all. I'm taking the removal here easily. And okay, another Raven. There's also a crime committing land here, but I have enough ways to commit crimes here already that I think I'm taking the Raven. This also isn't a bad way to commit a crime, but yeah, I think I'll take the 2-drop now. And here we have a Descending Peddler, which I'm taking over the Wolverine because the Peddler is one of the cards that actually allows me to use the madness option of this card. Okay, that's a red and white card. Demonic Ruckus, Outlaws, Fury, 4 creatures. Well, no, not all of them are Outlaws. I don't know. I don't like either of these too much, but I guess I'll take the Ruckus. But it's gonna go to the sideboard for now. Pulverizer versus Magebane and Lizard. Yeah, I don't care about the 1/4. Pulverizer is a totally reasonable 5-drop. And yeah, the Pyromancer just isn't that great. So I'm taking like the Fury here, but I will put it to the sideboard. I don't think these are necessarily gonna be main deckable cards. I can take the Gigabeat here. That's a a 6-drop, but I could see playing 1 6-drop if I have a lot of these removal spells, which I do have right now. I might have games going a little bit longer, and then I have access to 6 mana, because I will keep drawing some number of lands the longer the game goes. Wow, I got 40 gems here. I actually don't like the Buzzard at all. I have been very unimpressed by the card. There are so many reach creatures in this format, and it's being either a 2/1 or maybe sometimes 3/2. It's not good. I don't hold that card in high regard at all. So I just took the 40 gems because I already had a playset of these versions of the Scape Shift. Okay. Hell to Pay, Consuming Ashes, okay, Jagged Barrens, Prickly Pear, Mona's Surprise. I have also not been impressed by this thing. It's mana inefficient, and yes, you might get some extra treasures, but then you have to be very mana inefficient to get them. And I actually don't think it's even close to correct pick here. I would take the Consuming Ashes over it. But I think I actually like the Jagged Barrens now. It's an on-color desert, doesn't take a spell slot from the deck, already has synergy with the At Knife Point and the Raven of Fell Omens and the Blood Hustler. And while I like the Consuming Ashes, these lands are really important and you don't get this that late, especially when they are double on colors. So I'm gonna take this. Oh. Right, well, there's some benefit for the fact that red is often open, because that means it's good stuff getting passed to your way. Yeah, I'm taking Terror of the Peaks, of course. I really hope the Wireless Smasher is coming back to me at pick number 10. But maybe Wireless Smasher, Prickly Pear, or I don't think Consuming Ashes is gonna come back, but one of these things should maybe come back to me, hopefully. Well, I'm taking the Bum Rare, so let's move on. Molten Duplication. I do have a playset of them. There's a Jagged Barrens. Oh, this is a great pack for me. Yeah, at Knife Point and Skewer, I don't mind having either of these, but I think the Jagged Barrens is the peak. I'm kinda secretly hoping this second Knife Point comes back to me, but I would play this Skewer the Critics too. But here I'm taking another double on color Pinging Desert. And hopefully I can find stuff like Raven of Fell Omens still in this draft. How many creatures? That is 7 with 4 non-creatures. I'm thinking between the Derailment and the Desperate Bloodseeker. Both of these can commit a crime. I have like 3 2-drops. These are like 3 mana cards. Okay, I'm taking the Derailment here over the 2/2 Lifelinker. Here though, Thunderous Salvo versus Servant versus the Wolverine. I think here I'm taking the Servant because I can also get this, I can tutor up the dragon mythic rare with this thing. So I'm gonna take the 2-drop creature over the 2-drop removal spell or this kind of a thing that can you get you an extra card. Sometimes at least. Alright, I'm getting an Akul. Yep, I would be happy with the duelist because it is you know, repetitive. It is crime that I can keep doing with the ability, but I still prefer having the 5/5 Trampler. I have also 2 Jagged Barons, making the mana cost a little bit easier than what it would be like a 9/8 mana based deck. The Desecrator not very good. The Fake Your Own Death is okay if you have some decent creatures. I have some decent creatures I don't mind saving, but I think I like the Neutralize the Guards and even the Red Rock Sentinel quite a bit. I'm taking this because it's a good sideboard card. This is a best of 3 draft, so let's take this. It can be really good against some decks. Alright, I'm taking the Summoner in here. I don't know how many 4-power creatures I have or how many of these mercenaries that can pump my guys to get 4th power, but I think it's worth picking here. And okay, this is the first pack where I actually don't have anything for me, so I guess I'll take the Tomb Troller here. I don't think I'm ever gonna play it no sideboard in, but I guess it's technically possible. Alright, no more black red for me. Okay, take for a ride. Yeah, I'm taking it because it's the only card for my colors, but I don't really think it's the kind of card I will be playing in this deck. Mind Raider. I don't think it's that important. I'm actually taking the Return the Favor for sideboard. I'm gonna take these for sideboard too. Because this can do some really nice work in some specific matchups. The 3/2 Trampler that can make your treasure token is like a very, you know, not that important card. I have the entire pack 3 left, so I don't need a random 3-drop here. Hey, more dragons. Okay, let's take it. Stingback Terror. Did I get either of the 2 cards I was hoping? Yeah, there was at Knife Point and yeah, maybe I didn't get anything from that one pack. At pick number 10. Anyway, Stingback Terror is a really good card, so I can just take it and move on. Mana Drain. Okay, what do I miss if I take it? I kind of want to have my 4th copy of a Mana Drain. I don't have a playset of these things yet, so there is a Binding Negotiation, Mind Raider, and a Bandit's Hall. Yeah, I think I'll just take these and not gonna worry about the actual cards that I could be using for my deck. Heartless Pillage. The Dirge is actually quite nice. It can even just get either the Akul or the Stingback Terror from the deck or return from the graveyard. But I really like the Vault Plunderer too, and I guess I could use a 3-mana creature here. There's even another desert here. Yeah, I do like the Dirge, but I'm taking now the 3-drop here. How about this pack? There's not much going on here. I don't like the low amount of 2-drops in here. I don't know how important this is. I don't actually think it's very good here for this build. I'm not gonna... I have more like a removal and then these high impact cards. I don't need to saddle this thing to push through some damage. I'm just taking 20 gems here. I don't care about those cards. I can take a Consuming Ashes though. That's a 4-mana card I'm happy to have here. So this is now actually only 18 non-lands, but I suppose I do have a bunch of things I can choose to play in the main deck if I somehow don't get enough playables in pack 3 now. Well, this is a little unexciting stuff. You could play the Sterling Hound, it's not unplayable. The Pyromancers technically too, this is not interesting. Archway, Not really. The link breaker. I'm taking the link breaker. No, I can buy suppose blade. Alright, so something happened in this draft. Black and red isn't open like at all. So I'm gonna have to play some of these sideboard options, I suppose. How many outlaws do I have? 4 rogues, 3 warlocks. Is that it? No assassins, no mercenaries. Ferocification. I have played it sometimes. It's not the worst. It's actually quite good with the summoner too. I won't be taking the Skulldugger. I'll take the Ferocification. Especially now that I took also the Link Breaker. It's gonna combine with that somewhat well. Okay, Desecrator, Mind Raider, Roundup. And the 5-drop. Well, let's take one of these Mind Raiders now. And here there's nothing for me. 20 gems versus stuff I don't really care about. The Lackey. No, I'm taking 20 gems here. I'm gonna put some stuff from my sideboard into this main deck. But yeah, clearly black and red became not so open in somewhere pack 2 and pack 3. This is a playable card. I might actually even do that. Add it to the deck. So, this is 22 cards. Let's see the creature curve for now. Only 4 2-mana creatures. And nothing that costs 2 mana to cast. Yeah, this is... The mana curve isn't that great. I like the fairly large number of removal spells here that can remove anything. These won't, but there are 3 that can remove anything. Is there anything that's bad in here? I think I'm gonna play the Sterling Hound. This is 15 creatures, 7 non-creatures. Okay, not great. And I will probably play 17 lands. I have the 6-drop in here. Do I need 17? There is a trick shot. It's never great, but I mean, it is sometimes very important in getting rid of an expensive bomb rare creature, but sometimes you actually have to use this on something that costs 3 mana, and then it's not very good for your tempo. Yeah, I don't think the Demonic Ruckus is really the card. I guess it is one other card that makes the summoner create a token. I don't have that many ways. Yeah, I have some creatures that naturally are gonna have 4 power or more. Then I have the few ways to make these mercenary tokens that can pump this or one of the other creatures into 4 power. But this thing has to attack to get the token. Ferocification works. Outlaw's Fury. You only have to have 1 outlaw to get the card. 3 warlocks. 5 rogues. That's 8. No other outlaws. So like half the deck is outlaws. Okay, I guess I can play the trick shot. I'm not playing the Tomb Trawler in the main deck just to have something to do on turn 2. The Demonic Ruckus is I mean, with this low amount of 2-drops, it doesn't really excite me too much. So I'm taking the trick shot in here. I'm playing 17 lands here. More red than black here. Double casters. This is not actually necessarily a double caster because you can plot it for just 2 and a red. So I have only 1 red double caster, and I have actually 2 because of the Akul. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 black double casters. Well, because I'm gonna play like 8. I'm going to play 8-7 basics here. That's why I'm thinking about whether I should play more mountains or swamps. I guess with the consuming ashes, I do want to make sure I have the double black. So 8. I mean, it's more important than double red, so I'm gonna put 8 swamps, 7 mountains. But of course, with double jagged barrens, this is still going to be like a 10-9 mana base, which is fairly decent. But I don't like the fact I have so few 2 mana plays here. Something really happened to how open these colors are, because after pack 1 I had a lot of playables and I got some good cards late. And in pack 2 and pack 3 that didn't really happen. I didn't get any late goodies anymore. But let's try to get some wins with this deck at least. Okay, I have to be happy about this hand because I have only a few cards that cost 1 or 2. I think total of 5. But I got one of the 2s, which is nice. The opponent starts with some aggression here, but it's only 1 power, and they didn't follow it up with a 2-drop, unless this is like the -2 plus -1 from every desert. Okay. The Vault Plunderer isn't the greatest, of course, against the Link Breaker, but this will have first strike when I have the add knife point in here. So I'm going to attack here and play the Plunderer post combat, and then they will probably leave this guy to block, but then of course I can play the add knife point to make the block very bad. Okay, there's some basic lands. Okay, Paladin I can get rid of. But what are they gonna do with the rest of their mana? They still have 4 cards. I don't like the fact that they didn't play anything, because it would be just very nice to remove the Paladin, get a 1/1, and maybe use this to get my dragon or something. But now there's... I mean, I can just target this with removal, but they can be like all kinds of shenanigans they can respond with. One of them is of course Snakeskin Whale, but they could also have the blue uncommon that bounces one of their creatures and one of my one of their permanents and one of mine. So I feel like I'm gonna play it a little slow here. I'm gonna play the Raven here in case I'm gonna use the explosive derailment. But I'm attacking only with my Death Toucher here. This actually is first strike and Death Touch, so they can't even trade with it. Not that the 1 damage is gonna matter. I'm not using the derailment when they have open mana. So let's see what happens. I could, play the Peddler post combat, but I think it's more important to have the option to use the derailment here. They had no use for their mana. I guess they're gonna have something like a Bonnie Paul here. Okay, I'm going to... I don't really want to take 5, but they might have a way to save it. I'm taking the 5 for now. And then I think I'm gonna end of their turn, try to burn it, if they do nothing else now. Let's see what they're gonna have. At least I'm gonna get my crimes here. Couple of triggers. And let's see what they have. I can use the consuming ashes on my turn if I want to. Phantom interference. Okay, so that they actually had that's what they had mana up for. Fine. This doesn't have first strike. But I can pump it if I want to make a trade here. I'm gonna exile this now. I don't get the surveil, of course, but that is fine. And now... Well, I have no crimes currently to be committing. So, maybe I'm offering the trade with the Raven. I'm gonna do that. Maximum damage output here. And now the question is, am I going to sack my Stinger? I don't think I need to do it right now. I'm gonna decline it. I quite like the having the board presence instead. There's no guarantee that my you know, my dragon is going to do anything when they haven't emptied their hand. They are not top decking or anything there. Okay, there's a derailment number 2. And here I can just well, it has only 2 toughness, so I don't actually need to kill it. But then again, I don't want to start taking damage either. So let's hope they don't have a snakeskin whale. They did not, so now I can attack with everything. Every guy has a first strike, so they can only jump block there, and they go down to 11. I'm still gonna decline this. My falsification seems that it can do some good work. I could also play the peddler now, but I feel like I want to just ditch an extra land if I happen to draw one. My board presence should be good enough with the falsification, especially that that I'm gonna go like this. Could they have another phantom interference? Well, of course they could. Then they're gonna get a 2/2 flyer, which I'm not gonna care about. So if they have that, please just counter it. Okay, now I will choose the pumps here. This has 3 toughness, so I'm gonna menace and haste that guy, which means that I'm gonna pump here. Back for more. Well, that is unfortunate. At least this is a 4-mana card, so they do not get to draw a card. That is that. So now... They can double block the servant actually now, I didn't realize it. Well, in that case they go down to 5. Maybe I was supposed to pump the... Okay, they double block that guy instead. Well, do I care about them? Well, okay, let's see. They haven't decided. Okay, they go for double blocks in there, so now the question is, do I want them to have a servant of the Stinger or the Hollow Marauder? I think I'd rather just kill the Marauder here. Yeah. Let's hope they don't have more ways to bring back stuff from the graveyard. But they have... Okay, so I was supposed to kill the other guy because they're gonna keep bringing this back and they get to... Okay, no, that was... Forget about it, it was only a Rise of the Varmints. That's not very... Oh. Let's try to have a 7/7... Yeah. Haster, because I can use the Ferocification here. Here I will... Yeah. I was just figuring out how should I use the mercenary tokens. I think one pumps the... Of course they are already losing to the terror, but the assumption is that they have something to kill the terror. So I think I would have given one pump for the plunderer, another one for the stinger, so that they don't have good double block options there. But the terror won. So this is a Sultai colored deck. I have to be careful about the graveyard stuff. Neutralize the guards. Well, it actually deals with the Varmint guys. Also randomly with this and the token it generates. Also, it actually decreases this guy's power to 0. So this actually has several reasons to make this a card I should consider playing. And now what is the card I should cut? The Link Breaker doesn't seem to be very good in this matchup. I like the Ferocification, the random creatures here. This is fine. Five lander. Yeah, I'm gonna mull this. This is much better. Much better, but is this gonna be a turn 1 play or not? It's gonna be a turn 1 play. It would be nice to get that knife point, token from it, but there's a chance I don't draw any other lands, and I want to play a 2-drop, 3-drop here. That's also good. Let's play the Blood Hustler. I really want to play the knife point before I even consider playing the derailment. Okay, that guy just died, so fine with that. Now there's a Gila Courser as well. Alright, I'm gonna do this now, because this is gonna potentially give me an extra card by me just having the Raven of Fell Omens in here. Unless they also kill this guy now. Alright, well, this is even better. Because if they do something here, I can still play the Servant. I think I was supposed to play the... Well, it doesn't matter now. They might have the counterspell, that's what I'm thinking here. So that if they don't... Okay, well, they have a bounce on that guy. Fine, then. Be that way. They did not surveil to graveyard, so they drew something they wanted to have. Paladin, I can't kill that, it's too bad. The thing is, I can actually... They also could have a back for more, which makes me want to actually exile the paladin. Okay, I'm going to just exile the paladin now. And now the question is, am I going to sack this thing for anything? I'm not gonna do it yet, because I have a handful of playables. And I don't know what is the best tutor target. It's not always going to be the dragon. It would be a different story if I saw them top decking and them having no answers for my bums, but they could just have a removal, or I think the counter spell. That's also possible. I can actually kill both of these with the derailment, but before I'm gonna do any of that, I'm just gonna have an attack here. And I'm going to just play the Jilla Causer here. I'm taking only 2 here when they pump the Raven. Okay, more good stuff in there. Let's try this again. Land is fine. They don't seem to be having anything. Well, in that case I have no Russian here. I'm gonna play this thing. I can take 2 again. They could be holding the back for more. So exiling the 5/4 Trampler was a good thing. Okay. Well, that is a lot of removal. I can just net some cards in here. Yeah, I mean, it seems like they might also just be flooding. Neutralize the guards. I mean, it's not the worst card. I get to surveil 2, I get to ping my crimes. But I can play this until the end of my next turn, so I'm gonna see what they are gonna do here. I could prevent this damage by 1, but I think I'm not going to bother. I'd rather see what they're gonna do here. Okay, they just have nothing basically. Couple of triggers here and yeah, I guess they flooded out, and it's possible they actually had him back for more because there's no creature in the graveyard. I exiled this thing. Yeah. Okay. I'm on the draw, but this is a fine hand. I might actually wait with the Jagged Barons a little bit. I can play a 3-drop with this hand, actually even a 4-drop without touching the Jagged Barons. Yeah, I'm gonna just wait until I maybe get some synergy for that. They are gonna have a Tumbleweed Rising there. Okay. So am I gonna surveil first, or am I going to get the Plunderer? This is unnecessary right now because I'm not going to get the 4 power. I'm not seeing a way to get the 4 power creature for the next turn, so it's not going to be this guy quite yet. I know I can just surveil every land to the graveyard. Okay, I'm gonna go for the surveil too now. Agony and yeah, well, I'm keeping these, so yeah, I'm just wondering if I might need one or the other more. It doesn't actually matter too much, I mean. Okay, the opponent did nothing right now. Right. Well, let's try some kind of an attack here. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I will just draw an extra card now, and I think I'm still going to wait. I don't want to regret on turn 6 not having a tapped land though. I have a lot of ways to commit crimes in here. So let's see, turn 5, one of these things, turn 6 could be the gigapede maybe, so I'm gonna now just do this. Play the tapped land, because it's possible I won't have a 6th land by turn 6, I mean one that is gonna be untapped. Okay, so they just had a requisition rate there and there's the 6th land, but I suppose it's okay. They have no creatures whatsoever. Oh, that's so funny. In this case, I'm just gonna do this. I'm not getting a token unless I'm... Well, maybe they play some... I don't think they're gonna play anything with 2 toughness, okay. So now they have a couple of 3/3s and a lullaby on that guy. Trick shot. Deals 2 damage to a token, but this is sadly a 3/3. Not quite sure. I think the safest play here is just to do this before they untap with more mana at their disposal. No attacks, there's no point making this trade happen. Untap. I mean, that will have a double strike, but it will also be a 1/1. Fine. So, unless they have some kind of another trick, this is just gonna be very bad for them. And now I have finally a means to make a free token here. Lotus ring, but that that thing needs creatures. Yeah, game is pretty much over. They take 9 and I have all these. Am I supposed to play the servant here? I guess I'm playing around a rat because I really can't afford to do it. There's a white rat in this format, so I don't need to play this because I have a lethal attack here with my removals anyway. Terminal Agony can deal with that guy. And even, I mean, I don't even have to show the Terminal Agony to them. This doesn't have a lifelink or anything, so I'm going to attack here for lethal. Yeah, no reason to show them cards. Well, that was a weird game. Green-white. That drew like 1 creature card, and then there was a Tumbleweed Rising, but requires another creature, and then the Dance of the Tumbleweeds at some point. Lotus Ring is indestructible. Not that I think there's necessarily even any artifact removal. Well, actually there is. The derailment is, of course, destroy target artifact, but doesn't work against the indestructible ring. Okay, how good is going to be the link breaker? I don't really know if what is the actual deck they're gonna have. I mean, this doesn't mean that their curve out will be like this. I assume they can have a 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop starts. That's why I'm thinking about leaving the link breaker. But I could also see playing something a little different here. The Return the Favor can like copy one of these things. This is not a bad thing to copy. You can't redirect it because it doesn't have a target, but I can copy this thing. Tumbleweed Rising. Rampage I can copy. I don't know. But I feel like the link breaker might not be that necessary. I have a kind of a desire to try this return the favor. They had some, spells there I might be able to copy or maybe even redirect something. And of course I can always copy my own spells. I have a bunch of things to copy. So let's do that little bit of change here. Alright. Oh. Yeah, I have 2 dragons in the deck. I had these earlier. I haven't yet gotten the Terror of the Peaks, but this is actually quite nice now. Well, I guess I can't play this on turn 4 if I don't get the second red. Same applies for this thing, although there's no rush playing the return the favor. So their first play is that thing, and I think I'll just play the summoner here. If they use some kind of removal to deal with it, I'm not going to be that worried. Yeah, I'm not gonna block it. Reach for the sky. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna exile that. They will get, of course, a card from that thing, but it's not. I mean, I still get the tempo here, and I get the surveil. Maybe I get my second red, but I'm not getting my second red. Swamp goes away. Terminal Agony is still good enough to have here around. They get the card from the aura, but that's fine. I can play the Blood Hustler and I can plot this thing unless I need to do something else. Yeah. I'm going to make the attack here. Okay, I can have the trick shot if they really block and use a trick on it. I guess they could have a double trick, but no, they had nothing, which is kind of what I wanted to be there. Play this, plot this, and this even could be like a 4/4 for the summoner. Especially if I draw a land. Well, that's kinda not what I necessarily wanted to have. I can play this pre-combat, but this will be just a 3/3 and it won't trigger the summoner here, which is annoying. Because I do want to have the trickshot mana up. Which means that since I can't get my... Well, I guess I'll just attack now and see what they're gonna do. Take 3. Which is fine. Now I can do this. There is a land, so now I'm gonna play this guy now. Any action from there? Claimer killing that. That's fair. I have now a blocker for the Varmint, so I can just use the Plunderer here. Don't care if they have tricks or whatever. It's a shame I don't have the double red here, because that would have been usable here. Now I do have it though. So mm, mm, mm. Yeah, I'll try this. I'll try the trick shot here now. Okay, that seems to work. I go to 9 here. Well, I am going to go for the attacks. And then I can use the hustler here. Actually, they do have to block here, because I can deal, yeah, I can deal extra damage to them. Okay, they had nothing. Well, this seems rather easy now. I can make them go to 3. This goes to 4-4. Yeah, I don't know. This was a weird game. They didn't even have any tricks in their hand. Maybe they just flooded out. But again, they had like 3 creatures: the townsfolk, which I exiled, the Miriam, and the Varmint. They did have a removal, this thing, but they drew 16 cards in this game, and they had only 3 creatures on the battlefield. That's a really low count. Well, I got my dragons, I got 3 lands, both colors, both double casters up, 2-drop, 3-drop. Can I hope for anything better? The only question is, when do I play the Jagged Barons? And with the second Jagged Barons, well, I think the answer is I'm gonna play the first one right now. And then I can maybe find a spot for the another one, so that it gets 1 free counter for the Blood Hustler. They have Animus. Okay, I have a lot of removal, so I'm not too concerned about that thing. And I have my dragons, which can kind of also, you know, fight with this. Hustler goes away, and well, let's do the summoner here. I'm gonna go to what, 6 cards. I'm gonna play a land, and this yeah, this will still be a 3/3 on my next turn. Okay, they are getting their land drop, so this could be happening on the next turn. 4/5 life-linking flight. Oh, that is a good card. I also have my Terror of the Peaks, which, you know, makes it so that I am actually going to just plot this guy. Play this tapped land right now. I'm now on the defensive mode. And then on the next turn I can play the Peaks and then this for free. So, unless they have an instant speed answer for the dragon, I should be getting something good. I will go to 5 lands, I drop a land. I'm 5 cards in hand. Drop a land, that's 4. Drop this, that's 3. This will be a 4/4. So unfortunately the Dust Animus won't be killed by the Peaks on the next turn using this other dragon. I'm taking 4 here, but I can go to 16, of course, no big deal there. Now please tap out. That's what I'm asking. Don't pass the turn with all the mana up. Oh man. Well, consuming ashes. There's actually no snakeskin whale or anything. I guess they could have the thing that flickers. Flickers, yes, that is a possibility. I really don't think that I want to play all these into open mana. They could have like a well, bunch of things, like 4 damage to this card I have at 2 copies. I think I'm gonna wait, because I could exile this and attack for 3. But I wanna see what happens first. Maybe they are flooding out, that's also not impossible. So I think the only way that this is gonna get saved is if they have a getaway claimer. Okay. At knife point, ferocification, all these cards are fine. I guess the at knife point isn't the most important. I'm not gonna have that. How about ferocification? I don't think that's not necessary either. Let's just draw creatures for the Terror of the Peaks. I know the ferocification is good with the summoner, but okay, let's see now if they're going to have any more spells. At least I can attack for 3 now. Alright. I mean, they might have the explosive derailment, but it doesn't seem like they are ever gonna pass with mana tapped. So it's time to go for the full value here. And it worked. Alright, so here, let's kill this thing, let's get a free 3-1, and this is pretty much game over. Unless they have, you know, a Wrath effect. Let's kill this guy too. And now they need an actual Wrath. Which is what they had. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It's still pretty even, you know. Because they have 2 cards. But I have to be very careful, I mean, concerned about... I have to take this guy into account. So they might be sandbagging some big creatures now. It's totally possible. Well, that's not big yet, but do they... Yeah, they do have a... Alright, so they were holding this thing. Oh man, I did not expect that possibility. And I'm only gonna trade with the 1-1. Well, let's kill this, and it's a... I need to find some business now. Okay, Wily Duke. Well, they don't have a way to make it tapped right now. Okay, Mind Raider is nice because now I can attack with the Mind Raider into that 1-1 here. They can keep that thing menace now. Alright, so I'm taking 4 here. I think I need to draw a non-land here. If they draw any creature on the next turn, I think I will be just dead, because I don't really think I'm in a position to actually double block that thing. I lose both of my guys. It's not gonna be a winning game plan. I need to have a non-land here. Creature or removal. Okay, I don't think they're gonna... Okay, the peddler is totally nice one to have here. That's effectively 2 cards. And now I will be... I have to kind of double block it now, I think. One land in the graveyard. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's actually... Yeah, I think I have 8 lands in the deck and 11 spells, so there's a fairly large chance for just drawing more lands in here. How about them? No lands in the graveyard. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. I guess they have, if they have like a 9 lands in the deck. Yeah, they have probably more spells than I have in their deck. Is that a creature? And is that something that can saddle up? Oh, that is a good land, because now they can fix the draws. I will be double blocking the Wily Duke now. There's not much else to do about it. Okay, please don't find a mount at least. But they can still put lands and other nonsense to the bottom of the deck, so let's see how they go with it. It's not an instant decision, so that means it's not a land, because land goes to the bottom immediately. So, but they chose to still to put this thing into the bottom. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna go to 2 here. I will have to double block that guy. They still have a 2-turn clock with the mercenary, because they can make it into a +2, +0. Yeah, the menace is nasty, but nothing much I can do about it. And any creature they have will be having haste and menace if they so choose. Well, I'm not gonna win this game by waiting here, so I think it's gonna be... I mean, unless they hit a crazy spot of lands, because this is a 3-turn clock. When it doesn't get blocked, it's not going to be fast enough. They are gonna keep this on top, so now I'm getting this 3 damage dealt to me, and on the next turn they are gonna have something that's probably a creature that's gonna haste up with menace. So I don't think I can afford to attack, because they can even give it +1, +0. So if it has like 2 power, that's gonna be enough for it to kill me outright. If I would have attacked with the rider, the consuming ashes will help me a little bit. I guess this could be a trick or a removal spell as well. Okay, that's fine then. I'm gonna block it, of course, because if I don't block, I'm dead. So they kept this, so it's gonna be something good. Well, it wasn't anything too exciting. I guess it can be like a... I don't know. We'll see right now. Okay, what do they see here? Top or bottom or hand. If it's a mount, it goes to hand, but I guess it's not a mount because it would have already gone there. Top. Okay. And this thing is plotted Wolverine. Okay, well they can haste up only one of them, so I guess with the consuming ashes I'm going to try to, try to win here. Too bad the Wolverine is gonna get them access to even more creatures, so my chances are extremely low now that my dragons are gone here. I don't have any way to bring back creatures from the graveyard. They again go to top there. They can now of course play this because they chose to keep it. That is bad. That is extremely bad, of course. It doesn't go to battlefield because they would have to control a mount for that. But I don't get the surveil when I have to exile the 5-drop. I could have surveilled if they exiled the... I mean, if they boosted the 3-drop. Anyway, let's do this and see if I get something amazing here. Well, I think it's time to say goodbye because I can't attack and I will not be able to win either. I mean, hold anymore because they can just keep this plus, menace and haste. So I can't block it. So I was winning until they had to fell the mighty. And now, of course, I just have to... Well, first of all, you can make this whiff by destroying the target. So that's one thing I can keep in mind. And also I can just not overextend with all my dragons and stuff like that. Which means that... Okay, the return the favor actually is pretty interesting for the Fell the Mighty. Because I can just change the target. Yeah, I'm going to cut the link breaker and I will play the return the favor here. Anything else I can redirect or copy? Yeah, there are some removal spells here. Is it enough for me to consider some other changes here? I don't think so. This is the deck. Get to play first. This is a nice hand. I might have some trouble if I don't get the third land soon-ish. But if I do, I have the explosive derailment. Oh, that's a nice one, and I'm definitely now starting with the... I actually could get like a land with this thing on the next turn if I don't draw one. It is interesting actually. Okay, I'm gonna actually do it like this. The point is I can play this pre-combat 10 Jagged Barons and then I have committed a crime, allowing me to get a land if I don't draw a land now. Do they find a mount or just the plains? Seems like they do have a choice there. Okay, so no land here. That means I will be doing the Hustler. Play this. And I'm going to sack this thing for a land. And I think I am going to just get a Jagged Barons here. It's kind of annoying if they just kill my thing. Oh, I was actually wrong. I should take the Terminal Agony because I have Discerning Peddler here. So I didn't get the land after all, but this is too good combination. If once I draw any land, I get to do the Peddler into Terminal Agony. Yeah, that's too good to pass up. And in the meanwhile, I can play the Derailment if I don't draw a land. Okay, ferocification. I guess +2/+0 for that thing, and fine. um, kind of want to play the derailment here too. Well, I think I'm in a spot to commence a race in here. I hope they don't have like a removal and a creature. If they have just a removal, they can attack for 4 with this guy, but I can have a good tempo turn once I find my fourth land. I can play the Peddler and the Agony, and well, I can deal with the fairly dire using my stuff in here, but I'm kind of not benefiting from the ferocification now that they had removal for my guy. So they are not 4 lands. They chose to not keep the Defiance. I guess they don't have a double red. Well, this is what I'm gonna do here. Not the greatest target for this thing, but it's still a nice 2-for-1. And I can attack for a 2 here. And I have a bunch of removal here. 2 of which I can cast. And they can't have a 6-drop right on this turn. They can potentially have it on the next turn though. But there's gonna be some kind of a creature there, right? At 5 mana. And it's gonna be hasty creature. So I might be in trouble here. Okay, they're gonna get back the Seeker, and that is unfortunate. That is really unfortunate because I cannot. I cannot do 2 things in the same turn. That is the problem. I guess I can attack for 4. If they block, then they block. I think I'd rather have that trade happen than not. This thing has a vigilance, so it will be able to block. That is also not so great. Because if they just dropped 1 creature here, then I would be in a good shape if they attacked with this, if this didn't have vigilance. But because I can have a hasty 2-power creature on the next turn. Okay. Well, now I have to exile it because they might have a way to, you know, make it survive. Can't just burn it. Okay, so what is their post-combat play then? Could be just, of course, the Seeker into something. And I still need a land for this Gigapede, of course. Longhorn Sharpshooter. It's not nice. Especially because they can do that and the Frontier Seeker here. Yeah, I think I'm not gonna win this match. That is a good one, but it's not good enough. Yeah, I can only cast 1 spell here. So I'm losing on the next turn if they... Well, is that correct? I mean, I assume they keep having more creatures. But I can attack for 4/4 haste. I mean, if they don't have a 6 power creature... Yeah, because they can only haste up 1 creature. And if they play the Felidar, that's gonna be 6 mana. Oh, but this is a 0 cost one. So if they play this and play this, they saddle with the sharpshooter. Then I'm actually not quite dead yet. So yeah, the only chance I have here is this. And they will be gaining some life, but I guess there's like a chance I'm still in the game. But sadly, they will get some life from the Felidar. Please don't keep removing my guys. What is this? I mean, they just had the removal. They didn't even cast the Defiance there. I have also removal, but you know, stuff like Trick Shot is just so... it is so... Trick Shot is so mana inefficient that it's not very good. Sadly, the Gigapede can't kill the Sharpshooter. They still have 2 cards. Okay, Boombox is whatever. Ah, man. This is nasty because... Yeah. I don't have here any victory. It is possible that the one unknown card is not castable on my turn with the mana they have available, but this is sadly not gonna die here. I mean, it doesn't actually matter, you know, this has menace and haste. Oh, didn't even realize that. Well, I mean, this is just very trivial then. Oh, they seem to have something though. Well, I think this is... I didn't even realize indeed that yes, this is menace and haste, but seems like the last card in their hand is going to be removal on this guy, and then that's fair. I mean, they just removed every creature I had. Bowing intervention. I guess I'm not dead yet because they will play... No, I am, because they can use the Boombox. Yeah, they removed every creature I had. So they're gonna have this, we'll have a +2/+0. It was a funny game when ferocification on both sides of the battlefield was extremely relevant. But yeah, they were able to do double spelling. That is the actual thing here, because they were able to play in the same turn cycle the Scorching Shot for my dragon and then the Bow-1 intervention to deal with my 6-drop. And that was it. So the one game when I get to do the Terror of the Peaks thing was the game when the opponent had a Wrath effect, clearing the board. I had an Akul in the deck. Did I ever draw this thing? I don't think I even did. Well, it wasn't a great deck, you know. It was mana inefficient, and it showed also in the last game when I was able to do only one thing per turn, and that was not enough in the tight race that it was. So I'm just happy to have the 2-1 result here with this deck, and hopefully I can draft something else than these black-red black-red decks, because I had a black-red deck not too long ago on the channel. But I of course will have to draft the open colors. I don't really care much about forcing colors. But I don't want to have the same archetype featured all the time either. But we'll see how it goes. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.